So Lex Will called it. Hey, I remember years ago, he did a vid. He was doing he's going through the book of Isaiah, and he was going through Ephraim, and what was it? He said that Ephraim was the bow, or the Judah was the bow, and Ephraim was the arrow, right? That Judah would whisper into the ear of Ephraim, and he would let him loose, right? All right. I'm not saying that part is what's happening, but I remember it was around that context. And I remember Lex Will said, it's going to get so bad here that people will be doing home invasions, not for your toys and trinkets, but for food. Wow. Listen to this.
Full of groceries after I leave the store? Yeah, I don't think so there, Hen. I've seen a lot of videos talking about how people's EBT is getting cut off, and so they're going to be stealing groceries straight out of the store. But I've also seen a lot of videos talking about how people are going to grab baskets whenever they come out of the store. That way they're not stealing from the store, they're stealing from an individual. Well, you grab my shopping cart full of groceries that I bought and paid for with my fucking money, and you're going to hear two sounds. There's going to be three sounds. Maybe. There's certainly going to be two sounds. The first sound you're going to hear is me saying, now, Han, that's a bad idea there. Better walk the fuck on. If you don't walk the fuck on, that'll be the next sound you fucking hear. And the third sound, son, I'll hear it. You won't. No, sir. I'll fucking hear it. And you fucking won't. Now, people are going to come back on this video and say, oh, you'd end somebody over a basket full of groceries? Yeah, I would. You damn right. Because that person that's deciding to steal from me, they've already decided that that's what their life is worth. Well, they made that decision. They made that choice. You don't fucking steal from me. Fuck around and find out.
Inspired by a true story.
Well, you heard it from him. Because there were videos going around, everyone saying they're going to, not everyone, but people are saying they're going to steal from the store. It's one thing to steal from the store, okay, you're going to face those consequences, but understand, people who have to work and buy their own groceries, and then they come out of the store after work trying to feed their family, but struggling to pay for things, but because you're not getting free food anymore, you're not getting SNAP, you're going to steal from them. You're going to come across a man like this who doesn't give a damn what you're talking about, doesn't give a damn about your problems, because we've all got our problems. We've all got struggles. But I want to get into this story because Walmart, guys, let's take a look at this. So it says, we've got to talk about this at the top. Disgraced Prince Andrew to be stripped of Prince title and forced to leave Royal Lodge after Jeffrey Epstein scandal. If you guys want me to start covering that Jeffrey Epstein thing again, I am very disappointed in the administration. I have a lot to unleash on that. But if you want me to uncover some things that we don't know about it, unearth a lot, there is a ton of information that I can get into. But
All right, no, we don't do all that. Trump is in the pocket of Israel, right? Epstein worked for the Mossad, okay? Trump ain't doing anything against Israel, Like when you seen that Trump was getting all that money from, was it AIPAC? That Jewish lobby, right? I was like, man, he's gonna win the election. When I seen, what's her name, would not attend that dinner with the bishop, Kamala would not attend that dinner with the bishop, but Trump did, I was like, yep. They know what time it is. They know what they're doing. They know who they want in the office, and that's what's going on. You don't need to do all this stuff about, Epstein. We already know he works for Mossad. Mossad's got him protected. Trump is going to do what he can to make sure Israel's protected, and they move along with their agenda. When you start seeing his daughter is married to a Jew, and all these other people around him are Jewish, it's like red flag. There it is. So you don't need to go into that whole spiel there. I just answered the whole thing about Jeffrey Epstein and all that stuff. All right. Trump was friends with him. I'm not saying because they were friends they do this, because I had a friend once, my boy Tito. This dude was into pills and sleeping with girls from high school, and he was in his 30s. I had to stop hanging out with him. One day, a dad ran up on me, got out of his van, came with me, was trying to fight me. Like, I'm trying to get away from this dude. He's trying to fight me because he thinks I'm Tito. Because his daughter pointed me out and said I was Tito. I had to show him my license to show him I'm not Tito. I'm who I say I am, right? Right? For him to calm down. Because this guy Tito slept with his daughter and she was in high school. I'm like, I'm getting away from this dude. So I don't know, maybe Trump's in a situation like that. I'm just saying it's suspicious, and I understand people that are suspicious of their friendship. That's from my personal perspective. All right.
Let's get back into this for right now. So Walmart NYC area grocery stores threatened with mass looting after SNAP benefits expire. This is what sources are saying, and they are now beefing up security at Walmart. For some reason, Walmart is like ground zero for SNAP, and there's a reason for that, because they are the largest beneficiary of SNAP, guys. They are the largest beneficiaries, okay? 25% of all SNAP benefits go to Walmart, but it's deeper than that. There is a deeper layer to that. But yeah, I'll show you more. Walmart and grocery stores across the New York area. Now, this is they're just talking about New York because it's a New York Post, but this is all across the country. Area are being threatened with mass looting after SNAP benefits expire on Saturday. Law enforcement sources told the Post. The threats began cropping up on social media this week after the U.S. Department of Agriculture announced that November food stamp payments would not be made to some 42.
Now, think about this, right? Think about all the money that they've sent to the Ukraine. Think about all the money they send to all these other countries in foreign aid. I mean, Elon Musk and the Doge thing, they've showed some startling receipts. You know what I'm saying? Like paying for electric buses in Zimbabwe. Why? Making homosexual cartoons for children in South America. Why? Right? Those are the two of the things I could remember off the top of my head. There was more, but you've seen this coming, especially with all the money they were putting in Ukraine, because you know what they're going to do with Ukraine, right? The people who call themselves Jews are going to cause the whole thing in the Middle East to trigger off, right? I mean, it's all planned. They all know their roles. Iran's no innocent person in this or nation in this. It's playing its part. The Palestinians government is playing its part. It's the people that suffer because they are just pawns, right, on the chessboard. Israel, or the Jews, will have this war kick off, right? When it's all said and done, their leadership is going to abandon them, the people that are saying they're Jewish. They're going to abandon them. They're going to go to Ukraine, the homeland for the Khazars, and it's all going to be set up for them. And it's going to be funded by the American taxpayers and all the foreign aid that's been sent over there. And Russia's in on it too. We Old Testament tells us this. Okay, so none of them are innocent bystanders as far as their governments are concerned. The innocent people are the low-ranking people on like you and me, who are getting stepped on all this.
2 million Americans due to the federal government shutdown, which at 29 days and counting is already the second longest in U.S. history. But understand, a lot of this anger is directed in the wrong place because Chuck Schumer owns this. Hakeem Jeffries owns this. The Democrats own this. And I have brought you video after video giving you...
Oh, don't name just the guys. Name some of the women Democrats that own this. How about Ocasio-Cortez, and her wannabe cosplaying, fake ass self. I mean, this woman fakes everything, the funk, all of it. Fakes being, this tough Jenny on the block girl from Brooklyn. Come on, don't just do I get it. It's easy because Chuck Schumer is supposed to be the leader of this, but she wants to be the next leader. All right, don't let her slide.
of the information, their own party is saying it. They're bleeding voters has actually made Republicans more popular. It's insane, but it's all a scheme. It's all a scheme. They want civil unrest so they can enact new laws. They also are continuing to line their pockets, but then they're also lining.
Yeah, because wait until this is going to cause them to roll out new AI security, quote unquote, programs and stuff like that. They're going to make it harder and harder and harder to rob the stores and stuff like that. And it's going to be, hey, a no-brainer. Rob homes, they're easier to get in, they're easier to get out. A lot of times you're in democratic cities or states, and if you defend yourself in your own house, you'll go to jail for defending yourself, while the person that's breaking in can get away and go home and have, it's get a boat, get out of here.
In the pockets of these corporations, because, for example, I keep telling you guys, the health care insurance companies are still getting paid.
TestRep is a scam. I only made 80.
Getting paid through the shutdown. A lot of these corporations are, because it's already baked in for them. So they're not hurting. In fact, this is a way for them to stockpile cash. There's a lot, but let's continue. The news has incensed many recipients of the 60-year-old supplemental, nutrition SNAP, some of whom are threatening to take matters into their own hands with a lawless national protest, the source said. If you haven't seen it, let me show you really quickly the lawless protest that we're talking about, because the woman that they're showing you right now, I just got to pull up her video, where she was the one that was calling on people to essentially... There she is right there. Okay, so take a listen. I've played this clip before. If you haven't seen it, you got to listen to this mess, because she's going to get a lot of people like this are going to get a lot of people in trouble. A lot of people arrested, okay, or shot, dead, locked up, all types of things. But I don't give a damn. Here we go.
People, my people. I wish we stopped crying about this motherfucking EBT card. At the end of the day, they try to see us, we gonna stick together. And we are going to stick together. Fucking November 3rd at 6:30, we're going to Walmart. We're going to fucking Walmart. And at 7:30, we're going to walk out of Walmart with our fucking buggies. Okay? The thing is, they can catch everybody. You feel me? All you got to do is run, Forrest, run. Okay? We have to stick to fucking together. It don't even matter. As long as we going to have everything we need for Thanksgiving, that's all that fucking matters, bitch.
Now think about that, right? All that for a holiday that you don't even need to celebrate in the first place, right? And then on top of that, you gotta always think about this in the back of your mind. Why are they allowing them to post stuff like this? You know what I'm saying? But if you post something that's that goes against the narrative about COVID, about Israel or something like that, they're gonna flag you and take your account and put you on strikes, right? But this stuff is allowed to go up. This stuff is allowed to go up so everybody can see, so they can get on it, right? They want the lawlessness is what I'm saying. They favor that stuff. You try to promote, facts, truth, going against revisionist history. No, we're gonna shut you down. You can't have a voice. Or you can have a voice, just not here. All right, you gotta go find other platforms, which thank goodness there are other ones that you can go post on, because we're not gonna have it on YouTube, right? And especially TikTok. TikTok is a feminist, leftist, man-hating, app. I don't care what anybody says. That thing is trash.
Run, Forrest, run. Remember, put it in your calendar. November 3rd, 6:30 to 7:30. You better be running up that motherfucking.
Oh, this always reminds me of the King Alfred plan. It's like the King Alfred plan is still on the books to justify, wiping out people like this, which we know where they're really trying to wipe out. They want to wipe out the one that's promised to come, right? But it frustrates me hearing them talk like this, like they got some common sense. You're making it bad for all of us.
So there you have it. They're so dumb. They're actually planning the illegal activity, like stealing and illegal activity, for everyone to see, law enforcement to see, Walmart to see, November 3rd at 6:30. What do you think they're going to do? They're going to beef up security. They're going to do what they have to do in order to shut this mess down. But continuing with this, because I have more to show you. Oh, I have a lot more to show you. But let's continue this story here. Okay, so it says, as the benefits pause looms, postings on TikTok and Facebook have cropped up, encouraging people to coordinate in a rash of mass thefts. So they're just repeating what we just heard her say. The video drew hundreds of comments, many of which mocked the entitled attempt at inspiring vigilantism. Similar threats also targeted local grocery chain Food Bazaar, which has 28 locations in the Big Apple. The East New York store, which has had problems with rampant theft even before the social media campaign, employs 2 to 3 security guards per shift. The store is a problem. There's someone who is always in trouble. Someone takes food always, one guard told the Post. The guard said that they were all aware of the Facebook post calling on the store to be raided November 3rd, but conceded there isn't much they can do.
So I don't want to play much more of this because it's annoying. But think about it, right? This is gonna be things they're gonna look back on. And it's gonna incentivize them to want to live in 50-minute cities, right? Where everything is surveilled, everything is monitored. There's no getting around it. You'll be, if you do rob, you'll get caught. No, all that stuff. That's what that's gonna promote. They're gonna be like, look how you did it with the old ways in the cities that you have. That's chaotic and that's barbaric. Look at these cities where there's a camera everywhere. And you can't go outside the cities. You're just there. You're trapped. We got you. All right. So it'll cancel lawlessness. That's the idea. But we've seen, different movies that show you what happens inside there. Once you're there, you're never gonna leave. You're gonna be a rat stuck in a trap. You're gonna be born there. You're gonna die there. Your children are gonna be born there. Gonna die there. So on and so forth. But there's also, like I said, I keep saying this. This reminds me of RoboCop, the TV series. The gangs that were the gangs that were outside the cities. Like the gangs that lived outside like the cities that was owned by like Ford Motor Company, right, and stuff like that. And they would have to go in there and do the looting and robbing and stuff like that. And some parts of the city, they allowed them to do it at a certain point in time at night. Like they just weren't going to guard it no matter what. That the violence and of the gangs were just that strong. But that's what this is reminding me. That's what we're working our way into. And I know it's a TV series, but like, come on, they tell you what they're going to do before they do it. Look at the Most High, right? And King Ahaz, right? He told Ahaz, ask me for a sign. Ask me. He didn't just do it. He said, ask me, and I'll give you a warning. A virgin will conceive, meaning will be impregnated, and then she'll have a baby. And when she has the baby, she's gonna call this baby Emmanuel. And he didn't say he was gonna grow up to be some great, mighty, whatever. That was just a sign. You're gonna get drugged into court, for something. Or the IRS, right? Gonna put a lien on your property, give you notices before they do it. So I'm gonna leave this in the description box, but I could not believe what I was hearing when she started out that video. I'm like, flashback, bang.